Welcome back to the Gweilo 60 channel. I'm your host, Gweilo 60. Hey, I've been in the Philippines now for, on and off about 15, 16 months. And, I tell you the perspective of what I see, through my eyes. And, as I say, I've been living here off and on. The first 4 months, it was sort of like a little bit here, a little bit nannying back and forth. I think I traveled back and forth like 5 times until this last time. I've been here since November 1st of last year, and now it's the end of August. So yeah, another couple months, it'll be a year. Dang, it doesn't feel like that. But hey, you're in a tropical paradise. You got palm trees everywhere. The weather's good. The girls are beautiful. The beer is cold. But the perspective of the Philippines through the eyes of a Filipino person, and I've talked to a lot of them over the last year or so, and they definitely look at the world differently than we do. I've never seen a poor society like they have here, and with so many happy faces. Like seriously, it's one of those things. I moved the camera that way because you're not supposed to show, as I said in one of my last videos, you're not supposed to show people in the background of your videos. You've got to blur them out, and they've got a national privacy policy that was implemented after Vitali screwed it up for everybody else. But you already know that. But but they're always happy. They're always respectful. But I think there's. I talked to Gene about this here the other day. I says, well, you see all of these old foreigners, and they have young girlfriends. Is it because they have money? Well, finance has something to do with it. Yes. Would you take young and pretty or money? Well, probably money, because life is a little bit easier that way. Well, a lot easier, because money brings happiness, food on the table, security not only for her but for family and stuff like that. I said, well, do you see older Filipinos with young Filipino girls? Well, not like you do in a Western society. You know what I mean? You can have guys that are 58 and their wives are 24. You can have guys that are 66 and their wives are 24. You can, but it seems to work. Like I know there's a large expat community here in the area that I'm in Calbayog, and I look around, and there are some guys that are married to people that are more, let's call it age appropriate. Well, and it is because I'm looking at it through Western eyes, but if you look at it through Filipino eyes, it's not so much an age appropriate thing here. People just accept it. That's the way it is, and nobody is going to question a 30, 35, 40, even 40 year difference in age, because age is not an important thing in the Philippines. It's happiness. Do you live a good life? Is family safe, secure? Do they have food, a roof over their head? In certain instances, like another expat, Randy, and myself, we were putting his wife and my girlfriend, were putting them through nursing school, because education is the key to everything, and I know that. Like, I'm fairly well educated, and I'm assuming he is too, but when you have a lack of education, you have a lack of understanding, you have you don't look at the world the same way, and I see that in the Philippine community. I also see in the Philippine community that with that lack of education, there's a lack of opportunity. Even with education, there's a lack of opportunity here in the Philippines. Marco said the other day, he was talking to the press. He said, well, we want to keep our doctors and nurses here in the Philippines, and I told that to Regina, and she sort of smiled, and yeah, if the wages were good, but a lot of the Philippines, they're looking for a way out. They're not not saying that there's not a lot of them that want to better their own country and stuff like that, because you can't paint the entire population with the same brush. But what you can do is understand that some are businessmen here, they're doing really good. Some have nice big homes on the beach, perfect families, the kids go to ballet, and the hospitals are getting better. I wouldn't put them in a really good category as of yet, but they are getting better. You might have to travel from here to, say, Cebu or Manila to get a better quality of care, but nothing's perfect. The weather here is perfect, but so you've got all of these different things. Then you've got guys that are working construction, shoveling ditches and stuff. They don't speak English, most of them, because they never went to school and never learned English, and that's where they learn English here, is in grade school and high school and whatever. So like, education is the key to getting a better job here in the Philippines. If you don't have education, you better be an entrepreneur or somebody that has a trade, a plumber, electrician, but you're still like a construction worker here. I think the average wage is about 400 pesos to 500 pesos if you're like a boss type thing. And to put that into perspective, that's like about $10 a day Canadian, or $8 a day American. And these guys work hard. They're carrying hollow block. They're building buildings. They're digging ditches. They're pouring cement. So like, it's a difficult life, and the Filipinos see that, and some of them say, well, I'd rather go abroad, get an education if I can. And it's the education here is very inexpensive, but it's all relevant to how much bucks you got in your jeans type thing. For a jean, semester will cost about $1,000 Canadian, about 40,000 pesos, after you get the uniforms and the books and whatever, the tuition done and whatever, and you've got 8, so that's $8,000. Well, that's a pretty inexpensive education. And with that education, if you do good, and they study hard here, like seriously they do, because they see it as an opportunity. So when they get their certificate, now they're a licensed nurse, they can go to many places around the world, and not only will it pay their way and have a better life, but it'll pay their family sort of an allowance every month also, and it will upgrade the family, and not only will one be able to go to university, the next one will be able to, either a little sister or a niece, a nephew, a daughter, whatever, will be able to go, and it'll change the dynamics of that family. And you get say 2 or 3 people from that family out into the real world, and they're all sending money back, and that fuels more education. And as I say, education is the key. So the Philippine people have an agenda, and some of them are to just work and raise family. Some of them are to build businesses. Some of them are to get education, move out, better the family through education. So they're no different than anybody else. It's just that the opportunity here, because you're out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, like you're thousands of miles away from anywhere. Everything is a little bit more expensive here because everything is basically imported, except for cucumbers and tomatoes, and the tomatoes are only this big, and the onions, like, I don't know how they make their stuff so small here. Maybe it's the weather, maybe it's I don't know what it is, but so the Filipino people are like the Chinese people, or like the American people, or like the Canadian people, or like anywhere else in the world. They want the same thing as what you want. They just have a harder time acquiring it because they're living in a place that has its issues, and being far away from the rest of the world is one of those main issues. Anyway, that's just a short babbling burble of Gweilo's understanding what's going on in this little world that I'm living in. If you like this video, as always, like, comment, subscribe, push that share button. Don't forget to resubscribe, hit the bell, and until next time, you know the score. Peace out. Bye now.